Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Everyone deserves part of the American dream, but how do you get your part of the pie? We're the Economic Recovery Group. We'll show you how to get what you deserve as an American by claiming disability, unionizing and goofing off, or how to become a Native American tribe and open a casino in your garage or basement. It's the government's job to bail you out and give you the lifestyle you deserve. You shouldn't have to pay taxes. Someone else should. The Economic Recovery Group. Call today and we'll help your government help you.
Shut up and sit down.
Hello, everybody. I want to welcome you to a brand new episode of Third Shift. It is episode 509. And of course, with me today, as always, is the inglorious bastard himself, Mr. Matt. And we've got some gaming news. Oh boy, do we. But before we get to that, I got to ask Matt how he's been doing, what he's been up to. I kind of already know the answer to all this because we did a recording the other day just so you're all kind of in on it. But that's okay because here we are again to do it sort of over again. It's going to be great.
And as for me, it was a good week. One thing Eric doesn't know about. Whoa. What was that?
Finds what a night
That's not me, is it?
out can be. Each cooking experience.
What the
All right, try it again.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm leaving that in.
Let's
I'm
just
leaving
try
that
it
in
again.
because that's just great.
You know what that is?
What is it?
I'll tell you what it is. It's called I don't go to IGN ever anymore. But I went to IGN today just because it had something specifically I wanted to see. And they just throw up random ads like constantly. Like just constantly.
I'm glad to hear it because the two I go to, it's Game Developer and Gameatsu. I can't remember which one it is now. But they started doing auto-playing, auto-volume on ads on my mobile device. So like I'm at work and I'm like scrolling a page and it takes like 5-10 seconds for that to start for some reason because the page is loaded. I'm reading the article. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm reading an article at my desk for 30 seconds. And then, oh my God, it was epic, guys. Blasting out full ass loud. I'm hurriedly, oh, sorry, guys. Ads are bad enough. Auto-playing video ads are bad enough. But 90% of the other websites I go visit, they're muted.
Muted. And that's the key.
That's the key. Like, why would you ever... I've thought about, like, messaging the guy who runs whichever one it is. I think it's the one where he's like, I'm a one-man team. Well, fucker, you better do something about this, because you deserve money, because you do great reporting, and I get good info from you, but not this way. Not this kind of way. Do you have a Patreon? I will give you $5 to not get auto-playing loud-ass ads that scare me. I get scared, because they're so loud. Eric got scared, too. His eyes went wide. He wiggled around in his chair. It's scary. I don't like it.
Yep. I knew exactly what it was, but because I've got like 9
windows, 9
open.
tabs open, yeah.
Yeah, 9 windows. So no, I'm just like, oh my God. Which one is it? Who's doing this to me? And then I immediately, after another round of it, I know who's doing this to me. I know who. Because it's the site I stopped going to because they do this to me. It's IGN. And it was. You let me down again, IGN. Thank you. Appreciate it.
So with that out of the way, it was a good week. And the one thing Eric doesn't know is I went out to the Wharton Center, took Mom out there for the last show of the previous season, which is called And Juliet, which is a fun spin on Romeo and Juliet. And I won't spoil anything, but there's meta stuff, and it's kind of a continuation of the story. But it's really hilarious. It's fun. It's one of the jukebox musicals, so it's got a lot of pop songs in it, like real life pop songs. But they're spun in like a fun way. If it's a song that's like usually happy and upbeat, maybe in this story, in the way that it goes, it's kind of slow and melancholy, or vice versa. It is not all the time, but it's some of the time. And it was pretty fun. And I will say, no spoilers, the best ever theater entrance I've ever seen for a character happened in this show. It's so good. I was delighted. I had a kid like smile on my face. I was like, oh my God, look at this character entering. This is the best. Singing a song, entering, effects, magical things were happening. Wonderful. A great show. It was just a fun show, and I'm glad it wrapped up the way it did. No spoilers. No, stop talking about it. Okay. So another thing that I did this weekend on the video game front is I played 1 million demos. And if you're a What You Playiner, if you're a patron, you got to hear, or you're going to hear all about all those. I will say there are like 10 other demos that I played that I didn't even talk about, because some weren't very good and I just kind of fell off of them. 3 that I'll shout out here for the regular viewers, the actual podcast listeners. A game called Truck Coon is Supporting Me from Another World, which I found out about on Instagram because randomly, like the developer, doing like a TikTok or like an Instagram reel, he was talking all about his game. And I went, whoa, you seem like a cool dude. You're super excited about this game. This game looks goofy and fun. So I've been following him for the longest time. And, they had the demo in the Next Fest. He just said it's Steam Deck verified today. I think it comes out at the end of the month. But that's a game where, real quick, there's a lady, she gets hit by a truck, and she gets isekai'd into another world where she's a badass warrior elf. So she's talking to the truck driver who isekai'd her over there. And she's like, well, what you need to do is hit more people with your truck, because when you do that, it turns them into slimes over here, and I hit the slimes and I level up, and then I'm a badass over here, and I can go and beat this demon king, and he'll get me back home. So you're as this cartoon wacky truck, like kind of like Katamari Damacy style, like you're blasting through people, you're running through the scenery, destroying stuff, because when you destroy stuff, it powers up her ultimate attack. When you hit people, they turn into slimes for her to level up with. It's so wacky. It's so goofy. It's just goof fun. So I will shout it out. I'm going to make it my release when it actually comes out. Truck Kuden is supporting me from another world. The dev seems like a really cool guy, and he loves the game, and I love the game. I played the demo. It was wonderful. I played it for like 3 hours that night. Another demo that was wonderful, Sucker for Love, Crush Landing. I told Eric about this. I told the patrons about that. It's wacky, but it's also surprisingly dark. And this is the thing I didn't say on the Patreon. I don't know if our boy listens anymore, but there's a character in here. It's a little side character. It's a wacky side character you can call on the phone and get a delivery from this character. It sounds like Jim Ferranda's voice. Is that you, Jim? Are you involved with Sucker for Love, Crush Landing? And if you're not, maybe it's just, he does a lot of wacky characters with wacky voices. So maybe it's just a wacky voice that somebody else is putting on. But I was listening to it and I went, is that Jim? And this guy had like 6 lines. And I thought that after the 3rd line. And by the 6th line, I wasn't sure. And there's no credits for a demo, obviously, that I know of. But I was just like, that sounds suspiciously like our friend. And I don't know if he'd be able to tell us if he was in it yet, because it's not out yet. And you know how it is normally. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Maybe he is, maybe he's not. But that's a great demo. Really funny, really strange, really weird. And then another demo I played was Order of the Sinking Star. Talked about that on the Patreon. That's the big puzzle game from the guy who did Braid and The Witness. This is phenomenal so far. I loved it. I loved what I played of it. And I didn't even reach the end of the demo. Like, I don't know how big the demo gets, but apparently the full game is enormous. And the demo already is enormous enough for me to be sold on it. And then the last game I've been playing, it's a typing game called Final Sentence. It's like a typing battle royale, but it's in a Squid Game scenario where if you make too many mistakes, they do Russian roulette with you. And so you could randomly get shot or not shot. Or if you win, which I've won quite a few times, then everybody else gets shot. I mean, it's just a battle royale. You win and, the other people lose. But it's a Russian game, so it has that dark Russian game feel, like dirty and grimy. And I don't know, it's just something fun about it. All the prompts that they have, some of them are really wacky. Like there's, a bunch of like meme quotes is one of them. So if you know all the memes, you can do it real fast. Some of them are just like a story. Some of them are like interviews with a character in the world. So like I'm typing along and I'm like, what's going on here? And I was like, wait a minute. That's me that this person's talking to as a result of this. And I want more of that. I hope they do another patch that like explains this world and what's going on some more. But other stuff is just like, you have to type pi in some of them. So it's just numbers. And you gotta be good with the number typing. And I was bad with the number typing because I showed Eric, I'm typing on a 10 keyless keyboard. And that one didn't go well for me. That was a bad one. But there's all kinds of stuff in there. And it's just fun. It's just weird. I don't know. I like it. And those are the games I've been playing. I've been playing more stuff than that, but that's what you get. If you want more stuff, check out the What You Playing we recorded yesterday. But what about you, Eric? What have you been up to?
Well, of course, in the real world, a couple things happened this last weekend. So I had an open house to go to, which did that. I had a birthday party to go to, which I did that. Before that, I was going to go see a movie. Well, it fell through. It did not happen. And then I said, well, I know my buddy Matt's going to be somewhere today. And I said, maybe he's going to be there when I go. Perhaps. And I texted Matt. I don't even remember what I said or whatever, but turns out he was there. And I was like, that's funny because I was actually going to go right around the lunchtime and see. Because I've never been to this place. It's called Turkeyville. Never been there. I really enjoy the thought process of it, getting a turkey dinner basically, like Thanksgiving. And we stopped at a place a long time ago that's on the coast of Michigan, west coast of Michigan, that does the same exact type of thing. It wasn't Turkeyville, though. I don't remember what that place was called, but they did turkey dinners the whole night. So I went, this will be cool. And it's like 18 minutes away. So I brought my young one with me who, was hanging out with me for the day, and went there. And sure enough, saw Matt. And it was awesome because it was the usual Matt, like not mad, but just like, dang it, Eric, this is not a Matt approved time of meeting up. What are you doing? And I said, it's fine, Matt. And I didn't bug Matt very long. It was very short. I just said hello and whatnot. So not a big deal, but still funny because if you know Matt, if it's not approved, you're not supposed to show up. That's just the rules. But once in a while, I got to break those rules. I got to break them. I got to mess with Matt a little bit. So I went out to Turkeyville and I had a good time. We went to the arcade, screwed around with some pinball machines for a couple minutes, did a few rounds. I only had so many quarters on me. They had a little cool train set. You put a quarter in, it lights up, does the thing. So we did that, of course. Went to the shop, got the daughter a little lollipop. That took her like all day to eat because it was a jawbreaker one. And then we went and got food. Now the downside of this, Matt, was of course I went, well, you know what? I don't want to go crazy here. I don't want to get a big old turkey dinner or whatever. So I went, I'll go with the salad, which is a turkey, this minced turkey and, it basically like a chicken salad, but a turkey salad instead.
Correct.
I'll get the sandwich of that. Cool. Looks delicious. Sounds delicious. Isabel said she wanted the kids menu turkey sandwich. So I got her that. What I ended up getting, Matt, I got the kids menu turkey and noodles, and she refused to eat it. And she said, I'll just eat your sandwich instead, Dad.
Oh, no.
So she took my sandwich, and I got the turkey and noodles. And it was still good, but I just ate a kid portion of turkey noodles, which was literally like 2 little bites of turkey and then a whole bunch of noodles, which noodles are noodles. They're good, but they're noodles. And so I didn't get the experience. I didn't get quite what I was hoping for out of it all. But overall, a really cool place. Definitely going to go again, but go full hog and just get the full-blown turkey meal and everything else, all the fixings, all the addings. And I did get a banana cream pie, which is not... Banana cream pie is delicious, but it's not my favorite. And so I ate it, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. It's a really good pie. But I went, Eric, why didn't you just get your favorite pie? Why did you get this slice of pie and not your favorite slice of pie? I don't know why I made that choice, but I still enjoyed it. So don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm mad. It's just, I made it. There's a lot of weird things that happen, decisions that happen in this like tiny 20-minute period here. What the hell?
Now, I have a great many things to say with this. And I was going to say, when you were like, oh, I went to the food and then here's the downside. And I started getting riled up. I was like, oh, I'm going to bust Eric's chops about this. And then you said you got the turkey salad sandwich. And I went, that's the one, that's what I get. That's what I get when I go there. That's what I've always gotten. Mm-hmm. And I was like, if he says that sucked, I'm going to punch him in the mouth next time I see him, which won't be anytime soon. And then you didn't have it. So I was like, okay, phew, I don't have to get fired up about that. The pies are really good, though. Then that's one thing that I do is they have coconut cream pie there, which is my favorite pie.
I love coconut cream pie.
And you never get it anywhere else. So that's like my little birthday treat right there is that. Like, they've got all the other pies and other kinds of delicious desserts, but I got to get that coconut cream pie.
So yeah, overall, Turkeyville, good time. Next time, too, like I told you guys, I'm going to do the full-blown experience, and I'll let you know. And on top of that, they've got a turkey Reuben that I'm like, oh, I've got to try this. I love Reubens. That's just a no-brainer. Got to try it out. So looking forward to my next experience at the old Turkeyville. So in real life, that's kind of what I did this week. And of course, walking the obliterating heat wave we've had here in Michigan, 95, boy, the heat index at like 103 or something. I'll tell you what, went from Florida to Florida. So I'm just it's the exact same humidity and temperatures it was down there. And I came back up to it and I went, well, this ain't right. This is crazy. What the hell just happened? So that's what this week's been like. It's been wild. But on the gaming front, not a lot this week. A little bit of Adventures of Elliot, and I talked about that on the What You Playing Third Shift, so I'm not going to really talk too much about it here. If you want the in-depth, and I'm not finished with it, so don't get me wrong. I'll tell you more at the end or later on, but at the end of the day, still enjoying this game, having a good time with it, plugging through it slowly but surely. But I did pick up a new game, and it was Blasphemous 2. My brother put me onto it, got through a little bit of it, I think, last week. Maybe mentioned it last week a little bit, but really tried to plug in hard this week. And I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish it. it's very hard. And you know what happens? I get frustrated, so I quit playing. But these boss fights, I've done like 3 boss fights now. They're so good. They're super challenging, but they're the old school mechanics. So once you learn, oh, he does 3 orbs of fire here, does the click over, Mega Man style. Once you start learning the patterns in his moves, then you just counter and make sure you jump here, don't stand in the pit right there. And then you learn, and then you're rewarded because the fights themselves with these bosses are epic, they're grungy, they're weird, they're dark. It's all up my alley. And of course, afterwards, there's always this really cool thing with the corpse and the narrative and things happening. Awesome. I am totally in love with that. But the middle stuff, the platforming to get to your next section, it's like I said, a Metroidvania. So it doesn't hold your hand. You can go anywhere you want and everything. But these save points sometimes are like crazy far. And if you die, you go all the way back and your little soul stays where it was, where it died. And you guys know me. I don't have the patience for this. I go through an area once, I die. I go, okay, it happens. I'm learning what's happening. Do it again, die. 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 And I go, I'm not playing the game anymore. I'm just treading the same ass area because I'm either getting impatient, making different mistakes, trying a slightly different route to get to it. All these different things are happening, and it ends up not working out. And I'm like, I just need you to give me a safe spot that's not 20 miles away. Could we do that? And maybe there is one shorter. That's the whole funny part. But it's a Metroidvania, so you don't know. You don't know where anything is because the map's not uncovered yet. So I'm like, well, I want to continue this trek. I'm on this trek. Let's make it. And I got to one of those spots 2 nights ago or whatever the hell it was when I last played it. And I was just like, all right, I'm going to break this controller or I'm going to shut the game off. So I shut the game off. And then I did the usual Eric. You're mad. Yep. We should probably just uninstall the game, say we had a good time with it, and call it a day. It's not for you. You can't do this shit no more. But those boss fights were so fun. So enjoyable. Can you give it one more try? So I didn't uninstall it. I went, all right, I'll give it one more night. We'll see what happens. So this game has one last shot to get me forward somewhere to at least a save point or next boss, whatever it is, to show me. Because it's obviously selling like buttloads and everyone's loving it. So I know it's a good game. My brother told me it was an awesome game. But he's way better at gaming than I am, especially in that regard, like those types of games. So, he could handle all that stuff. I can't. But when he says it's great and he knows I love Metroidvanias, I'm like, damn, I kind of want to stick it out. But sorry, Blasphemous 2, you got one more go. If I can't give Kronos the time of day, you're surely not going to get it. All right. So that's kind of been the week. It's not been too much. A lot of just anime, a lot of work. Kind of tired when I get home. Obviously, if you walk for 14 miles and 103 index degrees, that's what happens. So I'm old. What do you want from me?
Well, what I want from you and from all the listeners out there is to listen to my release this week and go pick it up and make sure this game is a big hit because it's Rhythm Heaven Groove. It's finally out as of today as we're recording this, the second, developed and published by Nintendo for the Switch only. That's all that's for because it's a Nintendo game. And what this game is, it's a Rhythm Heaven game. Have you ever played a Rhythm Heaven game before? If you haven't, it's a rhythm game. It's just a rhythm game. It's just a giant collection of all these little mini games, and they're all rhythm based. So like you'll be listening to a background track, and if you're 4 frogs, it says the little pointer that says you, and you're the 4th frog. And to the music, the first frog goes boing, and the second one goes boing, and the third one goes boing. Then you got to go boing on the beat, and you just repeat that pattern over and over with other things thrown in. Maybe it's boing, 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 and maybe it's boing, boing, boing. Like you got to feel it, you got to see it, because it's very cartoony visuals, super bright, super colorful, really approachable, friendly art style. And I will say, like, these games are hard, because I love rhythm games, and I got one of the Rhythm Heaven games, or the one on the 3DS, and that was like, it's hard. And these are, I say that, like, it's hard if you want to be a perfectionist about it. Like, if you want to just play the game and pass the stages and have a good time, it's pretty accessible. It's difficult if you want to be a master of it, but that's what these games make me want to do because they're so simple in general. Like all you're doing is hitting a button to the beat or 2 buttons to the beat or like holding down a third button. You have 3 inputs max to do in any of these mini games. So it's simple, but the fact that it's simple makes me want to just be like try hard Jones with this. So when I say it's hard to be perfect at it, but if you just want to have some rhythmy fun and just have a good time, Rhythm Heaven, Groove, or any of the Rhythm Heaven games are what you're looking for. But if you don't do rhythm at all, if you got no sense of rhythm, no sense of beats or nothing, this isn't going to be for you. But all these mini games, it's like 2 minutes for the mini game, for the song, for the actions to go on. And then you can move on to the next one or repeat it until, your thumbs are worn down to nubs like I do. But there's tons of mini games in this one, all kinds of different art styles and musical styles and just fun stuff to do. If you like a bright, colorful, fun rhythm game, boy howdy, get Rhythm Heaven Groove, because I think this is the first one in like over 10 years. So this series doesn't come around a lot, but it's just aces. It's just good. I've watched 2 reviews, one from IGN and one from, I'm sorry, I forgot you, smaller channel. It was like Day One reviews or something like that. It was a very small channel that talked about it, and they both loved it. Now, there are multiplayer modes in here too, so if you have some couch co-op friends, like I said, there's very few inputs. Pretty sure you could do the games with just 1 Joy-Con, so if you got 4 and you got a family on the couch, you can do all kinds of multiplayer modes. There is the rhythm-based JRPG quests you can do also. I've heard that's kind of like hit or miss for people. It starts out pretty simple. It gets more complicated as you go, but because it's more complicated, it's harder and not as easy going as when you started. So it's hit or miss. I'll be able to tell you guys about it in a week or 2, maybe. I'm not sure when I'm going to grab it, but I'll tell you about it when I've played it. But Rhythm Heaven is just a simple, fun, colorful, delightful series. This is the latest version of it. Also, I think it's like $40 or $50. It's not even a full price title, and I've heard there's tons of content in here. Now, one of the reviews specifically said, I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but after you've rolled credits, there's even more stuff to find. So you get a ton of content if you like the content that this game is providing you, which I do. And I think a lot of people out there would too. Like I said, it can be hard, but if you just want to have a $40, $50 fun time, check out Rhythm Heaven Groove. Only don't check this out if you have no rhythm at all. But it's just a fun, goofy game. And just what more do you want? If your life has been brown and gray for a while, pop in Rhythm Heaven Groove and you will see colors like you've never seen before and just have a fun, whimsical time. It's a great game. Everybody should check it out.
I got a game for you too. It's a game with shapes. If you want to see a lot of different shapes,
yeah,
this is a game to play too. And if you've been in a brown and dreary mood, you see these shapes and you might be in a happier, better mood. And that game, everybody, came out June 25th for all the systems. It is Dead or Alive 6, Last Round. Now, you might say, what? And I say, yes, this game has been out for many years, but they just released the Last Round, and they mildly upgraded the graphics, tweaked things up a little bit. Nothing substantial, nothing huge, but they also added like 4 of the DLCs that have come out within that time. And I got an actual laugh today. I got a laugh because these are slim pickings, folks. Don't get me wrong, I used to love Dead or Alive 2, but it just wouldn't be my release normally. There's just nothing to tell you guys about. But I go and I watch the trailer for this, and it goes, and now there's photo mode. And guess what, everybody? Zoom in. And I just started cracking up, man. I go, they know what they're talking about. They know what you're doing in photo mode, period. And I appreciate that because this game has always known what it's doing with its characters and stuff. But at the back end of it, this has always been the best part. It's still a great fighting game. It's just like hey, if this person does this move, you can counter with this, but that move counters this. And it's just a matter of trying to be at the right place at the right time with low, high, mids, of countering what they're about to do to you. And that's how you win these matches. But even if you suck, if you just push enough buttons enough, you can still win matches and have a good time. So it's not like super advanced and hard, but at the end of it all, if you know what's happening and you're paying attention, then you can be a badass at this fighting game. And it looks pleasant. It feels really good. And man, no, it's true. It's true. And in at the end of it all, the matches themselves, I love the stages because the stages are always very interactable. They've always got some kind of set piece that does something. If you can get someone into a throw or whatever, or a hold or different moves will activate it. But there's always something happening that takes the stage to another level. And it's a whole scene and it's hilarious oftentimes and fun. I love that. I love it when it did it back in the day. I bet I'd love it right now if I played this one. So at the end of the day, it's an older game, just given, some of the DLCs and like several of the costumes. One of the big complaints is that there are actually hundreds of costumes and it only gave you like 4 of the extra ones. So a lot of folks are like, dude, you're going to try to sell us this game that's this old with some of the DLCs and not upgrade with some more of the costumes and more this and that. But of course, they want to make more money. That's kind of the gist of what's happening here, probably. So, there's some bad news there. If you've already bought the original Dead or Alive 6, it was in the 2 reviews I watched. This is a don't buy because it's not upgraded enough to where you can't you've enjoyed it what you enjoyed. And if you played the DLCs coming up to this point, there's nothing in it new. There's nothing in it's happening except for said photo mode. But that's only for those who have an inclination to want to do fun things with the photo mode. So, if that's you, enjoy. Or if you've never picked up Dead or Alive 6, this one is definitely the one you're going to want to pick up. And in fact, I think it completely replaces 6. So you can't buy 6 anymore. It will be this last round. So they're not screwing you in that way. They're not going to be like, oh, sorry, you bought Dead or Alive 6. You should have bought this one. No, they're like, nope, this one replaces it. This is the one going forward until 7, if 7 ever comes. Because I don't know for sure, but I think Team Ninja and them have said that it doesn't do as well as it used to. And I just don't know if this one's going to carry on. I hope so. But we'll see. I don't support it myself, so I'm one of the problems. So sorry, but it's here for you. If you really want an old school, cool fighting game, it takes advantage of what it knows it is and what's happening. Go get it. Go check it out.
I'm one of the problems too, because I'd love some Dead or Alive, but like high level Dead or Alive is too much for me.
Mm-hmm.
But like I love playing just like a single player mode and just button bashing and getting like 2 counters out of like the 500 that I could. I'm like, yeah, I'm the counter god. Look at me go. I'm so cool. But I haven't played a Dead or Alive since 3 on the Xbox, maybe.
I think 3 was the last one I played too.
But anytime I see it or anytime I hear you talk about it, I'm like, man.
No, I think I did 4.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm one ahead of you. Not by much.
But anytime I see one, I'm just like, man, I need to get back in some Dead or Alive because it's just fun. Like even outside of the memes about Dead or Alive, it's just fun to play. It feels good. It feels fast and cool and fun. So maybe I'll check this one out, and maybe I'll check out the one game that's on the Game Pass this week. It's called RV There Yet. So I think this is like an RV game where you got like a wife and you got 2 kids and they're like, stop over here, do over here. And you're like, I just want to drive through and get to the campground. Like, no, we want this, we want that. Maybe that's what it's about. I don't know. That's what I expect from a game called RV There Yet. It sounds like 3 voices in the back going, rah, 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 and I just want to drive us there and get us there and then we can go. No.
What's up with all these games, Matt, that just do what I do in real life? What is happening? We got to stop this.
So I'm going to jump into the Epic then, because there's 2 things you can't do in real life. Because the first up on Epic, I told you guys last week, I was excited for this week's games. Here they are. I'm excited because the first one is I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, which is a legendary point and click, dark, twisted adventure type game from back in the day. If you haven't read the short story from Harlan Ellison, read that. It's really good. It's all about a supercomputer that's like taking over the world. It's got like 5 or 6 humans that are left alive, and it just constantly tortures them. That's what the story is about, because it just hates humanity so much, and there's nothing left. So this is all it has to do. But in this game, you're like flashing back to the past and the things that these people did, and you're pointing and you're clicking, and you're getting really bad endings, or you're getting like barely scraped by. Maybe it's like a sliver of good type of endings, but it's dark and it's dreary and it's legendary. I played 1 scenario of it, I believe, like because I have this on Steam, but I just never have a chance to get back to it. But I'm excited for it because now everybody has it, and everybody can tell me all about their dark, twisted adventures. And I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, because you play as the humans. I'm saying, like, you don't play as Am, the computer who's torturing them. Like, so you're. It's not a weird game, but it's. I don't know. I love the story. I love the theme of this one. If you play this, watch the intro. There's like an intro monologue from the computer. Legendary. It's so good. It's so iconic, I'll say. God, it's so good. And then the complete opposite end of the spectrum, River City Girls 2. If you want to be a cute anime girl, high school girl, beating up goons in the street in a Double Dragon River City style, oh baby. I played through and loved the first one. I have been wanting to get River City Girls 2 for the longest time, but I feel like that one's always been $40. And I'm like, I want to pay $20 for a River City Girls game. Well, guess what? Now I'm paying $0 for a River City Girls game, and all you are too. 2 fantastic times on the Epic, and I don't even know what that Game Pass game is. I've forgotten about it already because I'm so excited for these 2 Epic games. I'm going to download them as soon as the podcast's done. Yes.
Yeah, the first one sounds really cool. Probably going to have to check that out. I love dark, crazy things. But I was stoked about River City Girls 2. I get it for free. This is one of those ones I'll actually pick up and play because I loved River City Ransom. I always wanted to do River City, Girls 1. It just never happened. But now I get to do this one, so I can't wait. Super excited. But of course, that's not all. Amazon Free Games has posted their games too, and you get Cyclones, which is an old 1994 first-person game. Think Doom and everything, and that kind of thing. It's all bananas. Self-explanatory. If you just want a really old retro first-person shooter, go check out some weird game called Cyclones. Then you got Lone Star, which is some space shooter game. Once again, another old game, just space shooting, pew, 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 pew. Nothing big on that one. And the last one, this one, it was tempting. Symphony of War, the Nephilim Saga. And I went, okay, well, this sounds like some old game too. And no, it is, but it isn't. It was made recently, but it has that old school vibe. It's a strategy tactical RPG, and you control, one side, obviously the AI's on the other, and you got all the cool menus and screens of you with all your nodes and troops and doing this, and then you go into close range, tactical RPG combat, and it does all the moves and, pop, 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 and then who won, based off who you had. The whole thing's there, and I really appreciated the animation and how it all looked, and went, oh man, this looks cool. This looks like this could be that game again for me, with the one game I played hundreds of hours in that I dropped and never played, then I did again, but I'm blanking on the name because that's just what Eric does.
You're thinking of Unicorn Overlord.
Unicorn Overlord, yep. I'm like, this has that vibe. This has it. I could end up spending 120 hours beating the hell out of this game. So that's free on Amazon for you.
And I'll back you up on that because before Unicorn Overlord, I bought this on Steam because I wanted it to be Ogre Battle, which it is. I mean, Unicorn Overlord and Ogre Battle are the same thing. But I bought it with like 3 other games that day, and I've never gotten around to playing this. So again, hey, I get in a different spot on the Amazon, but like maybe this time I'll actually play it like I want to, because I did the Google while Eric was talking, and I saw that Ogre Battle just look, and I just went, yeah, man, yeah.
So a lot of good stuff. Matt wasn't wrong. There's some good games this week for free. But of course, Matt, I don't know where do we start today. What do we do here in this wonderful news day? Because
all I have is bad news, so I'm going to start with the 2 good news pieces, possibly. Start with the 2 possible good news pieces because
and I can already debunk one. So I'm going.
No, I'm sure. Sorry. I know. I'm sure. But it was like the day after we released the last podcast. No, the day we did release it. So the day after we recorded it. Mm-hmm. And we went on that giant rant about GTA 6 and the no physical edition. Well, then a Polish leaker by the name of, and I have to say the name because you'll all know this leaker's name, like Eric always says. Yes. It's Groxadari. Sure. Groxadari.
Oh, yeah. He's been right like 67% of the time. So
yeah, see? So he said sometime in the following months after launch, they may actually have a physical edition with a disc in it. Maybe. Now, this guy's been pretty right, in the past, maybe. But they wanted to do it just so there weren't any leaks and spoilers out there. That's why they did it. Ooh.
Yeah, Rockstar came out and said that's false, and no, there will be no physical disc release. So they could be lying, though, too. So, they could be covering up because they don't want any issues with the non-physical and then disrupting sales of the digital edition. You know how that goes. So they could be just lying through the teeth. But they came out and said it's not true, and then they broke apart what they said and what they meant by what they said. So it was like, no, what we meant when we said this statement was and all of it doesn't mean anything about a physical release coming in a few months after the launch of this. So if you take them at their word, then no, there is no physical release coming January, December, whatever it was. No, period. But if they're lying, which could be very true, then there could be.
I'm still keeping my tinfoil hat on that one because that's the only way that I could play that game. That's the only way I'll let myself do it. Unless somebody literally gifts it to me, like your situation. Like if somebody hands me money and says this is only for GTA 6, then I'll buy it and I'll say thank you very much. But they got to be lying. They must be lying so that they'd get the payoff here. And then they could only have to print 200,000 discs, and I'd get one of those because everybody else in the world already bought it. Anyway, the other thing that is maybe good news, but it won't pay off. There was an article on Game Developer talking about how, can't remember who it was that actually brought the lawsuit forward, but memory manufacturers like Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron, the people who, have pre-sold all of their memory to all the AI companies for the next 400 years and are driving up the RAM prices, are getting sued in a class action lawsuit alleging price and supply fixing, which, yeah, they are doing that. So it would be great for everybody else out there to get some money from them to recoup this garbage that's happening right now, this RAMpocalypse or whatever it is, the trending word is. Now, I don't believe it's ever going to happen, or if it does, it'll be like 40 years down the road and we'll get $20 out of it. But this is what a class action lawsuit should be for, and we should get money from this because it's not right the way that things are happening. These 3 companies have pre-sold all their stuff so no regular humans can get it anymore, and that's not cool.
Yeah, it's bad news bears what they're doing, but I don't think anything's going to come from it. There's too many players, too many issues going on. The gaming market on a whole is not collapsing, but it's going to be drastically changed. It's going to collapse sort of, but then it's going to reinvent itself into something different. So, I'm not saying games will be gone, but yeah, there's change coming. And these people they're way up here, man. They're in the sky, the gods, and they're making decisions and doing things, and they're part of this whole freaking issue of why things are going the way they're going. And there's just too much money. There's billions and billions of dollars here.
Well, maybe that's the ticket, though, because we just talked about this before the podcast. If you're a basquillionaire, then what's raining down $200 million to the people? That's literally less than half of 1% of what you are. So,
you might get your $21.
Yeah, I can get my $21.
I'm just saying it ain't going to change the fact that they're the 3 only conglomerates that are making this stuff and they're controlling pricing, and it's not going to change anything that's happening. But you might get your $21 lawsuit at the end of the day.
That'll be $21 I can spend on a used game on eBay because I'm never buying a stick of RAM ever again in my whole life.
Get on your next digital game, Matt.
No, I'm buying retro games forever. I'm going to buy PS1 and Game Boy games. Goodness. That's all I'm doing.
And so I guess we'll just jump straight to that bit. PS did it. We knew someday it'd happen, but it wasn't supposed to be today, but they did it anyway. As of 2028, physical games are permanently gone. The PS6 will not support physical games as we understand now anyway, because here's another tie-in just real quick, because this is a tidbit I was going to forget, is it leaked that, or I don't even know it leaked, but it's been informed that Xbox has been working on a technology in their next system which allows you to put your discs in and it will digitally allow you to update into the system somehow. So I don't know how that works because I think their idea was to get rid of discs as well, disc-based systems. But they're trying a technology that allow you to get your discs into your digital system somehow. So apparently that's happening in the background right now, which means Xbox is already on board with the whole no more discs as well, which I talked to Matt about the other day. And then, of course, PlayStation just said it out loud. This is what we're doing. There will be no more discs after 2028. And then everybody went apeshit because it's happening and it's happening so fast.
Everyone went apeshit as they should, because it's, I've said it before, I'm not against digital games. I've bought plenty of digital games. But if you say you don't have the ability to own the physical disc and put it in the device and just own it, that means that you're at the mercy of any whims that they have. And that's the reason why everybody's going crazy. Because if they never put it on sale, you can never buy a used one. You can never borrow it from your buddy. You can never do anything like that. And if they decide, 2 years from now, we don't want to renegotiate the license for the music that's in this game, so it's just gone forever. And you can never play it again. And it doesn't matter because we unchecked the box on our server and it's just gone. So you would have paid that money to own nothing. I don't want to say the cliche thing that everybody's saying, but it's true. You'll own nothing and be happy. That's what we're going towards. That's what everybody's going towards. PlayStation literally said, that's what most of our people like anyway, so we're just following the market. Ha ha ha. You're choosing to follow the market because it benefits you monetarily the most. And you're just like, yeah, fuck it. You like discs? You like physical media? Screw you, buddy. Well, I don't have a choice in this one. I can't go down that road. I can't do that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of facets to this, but a quick one is I just get pissed too, and I've already gone crazy about this several times now, but I'm saying it again. We never see the good end of this stick.
Yeah.
So, okay, fine. You're never going to make a disc again. You're never going to make a disc-based system again. That saves you tons of money, doesn't it? Tons of money. So surely the games could be a little bit cheaper again, right? You could take the cost out of touch. No, they're going to raise the price on games again.
We got to feed these giant server farms to house all the games now.
Oh, yeah. You don't understand the cost of that. No. So it's all bullshit. It is all bullshit in that regard. And then on top of it all, I buy digital only, pretty much. So it's not like I'm over here, I'm very mad because I don't get my physical edition. My issue, the reason I am so mad is because it just opened another gate. One more spot of protection is gone. Because the future, folks, the future is coming. And it's going to be just like Matt was talking about. Hey, it's been 2 years. Player base counts down. This game's not worth keeping up on the servers anymore. So we're going to go ahead and just turn it off. And it won't, and I'm saying this verbatim because I said this, Matt, but it still stands. Hey, but don't worry. We're going to have a fun event. And it's going to be a great farewell to the community here. But you know what? If you guys want to keep this game up for another year, if you simply give us $20 each more, man, maybe the servers will be able to stay on. So I know it's coming. You're going to be able to pay to keep your game going longer. So you'll pay your $80, your $90, and in GTA's case, your $100. And guess what? If you think that's the first and last, only $100 game, you think Naughty Dog ain't going to be like, we're worth that too. You think there's others that are going to try it. And there's others that are going to just try the $80 one, and they'll get away with it. It's coming. The prices are going to hike. And on top of it, it won't be immediately. It's going to be a couple more years, so you'll have to wait on this prediction, but it's going to happen. You're going to start paying to keep your game up. And they're going to tell you, well, you had, and anyway, this is another. I mean, even the player base is going to try to yell at you for this. Well, you had 2 years for $80 worth of entertainment. You go to the movies and you spend $20 for 2 hours. You're still getting a fair proposition here. But then it's like, that's not the point. I bought this game. This game was bought by me. And then they're going to go, no, if actually reading the licensing, it's only being leased to you and it's under all discrimination, blah, 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 read law 43. Blah, blah. And all this is true, but it's all bullshit. And so it's like, you can tell me this. That's great. I'm glad you can tell me these things, but it's still bullshit. And I hope you're happy when you pay $80 for your game. And then 2 years later, if you don't fork over another 20, your game's gone. You'll never see it again unless you go watch a freaking YouTube video of it.
Just like you said, like that's great for you now, but eventually you're going to hit a spot where for you, the person who is supporting it now, you get burned because you don't have a choice but to get burned. There's no other way around it.
There's no alternative.
And then you're going to see what everybody's been talking about this whole time. And you're going to, oh, they were right all along. But I supported this for 10 more years and now there's literally no way to go back. And the other thing I was just thinking about is, I mean, this is PlayStation and they've already started with the dynamic pricing system.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know this is the wrong way of thinking about it, but we talked about it when we talked about that as a shifter multi-topic item. If we buy the same game, but you paid less because you were dynamically chosen to get the prices, that pisses me off. Now, I don't have a way to go and get a cheap one from a guy down the street or at Disc Traders or on eBay or anything. Like the price will only be what they tell me that it is. And they still could tell you and Steve and Bob and Hunter a different price altogether. So you'll never even know the true value, what things are actually worth. Like that doesn't, they're manipulating the value, the supply, the ability for you to play it. Like all the things that these memory manufacturers are getting sued for, that's what they're going to do. That's what they're going to do. And then they're going to have the control over whether it even exists for you to play or not. Like it's
more power on power on power on power.
Yes, that's what it's everything. It's everything horrible.
It's absolutely insane. And then on top of it, PlayStation Store sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's terrible. It sucks looking for crap there. It sucks just in all. And of course, they've got a terrible return policy, which is a no return policy, basically. So you're going, hey, you're going to go all digital, period. And there's no way to get any value off this game you bought if you made a mistake. Sorry. No. You're at least gonna have to adopt Steam's 2-hour window thing, but they're not, because they know people abuse the hell out of it over on Steam. They beat these indie games within an hour and a half hour, and then they return it, and now that poor indie loses money. They know that's happening. Steam knows it's happening, but Steam's so big and just what it is. It doesn't matter. It is. But PlayStation's not going to adopt that. They're going to keep it. I promise you, they're going to keep it a case on case basis, and 98% of the time it's going to be a no.
And especially that, because it's like, if you download it or if you launch it, then it's over. You can't return it.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's going to be a way for you to even download it. There's got to be a double security check there or something. Or you bought it, but then to download it, you got to give them the little $5 deposit or whatever. There's got to be something even more insidious in there, because I just feel like it's just, I don't know. I don't want to be all 1984, everything's coming to an end here, but when you take full control of everything, that's never good. That can't be good.
Always bad.
It's always bad. And it continues to be bad in another tangent, because I read this story 2 days before the No More Physical Games on PlayStation story hit. And they said, well, the PS3 and the Vita digital stores are shutting down. I think it comes in waves across 2027. And I thought to myself, in that moment, I was like, well, that makes sense. It's been quite a while. But then they said no more physical games. And I went, well, then you can't shut down digital stores too, because that will be the only way that you can get games. But that means they're just going to do it. And they might as well just do it faster, because if they shut down your PS5 digital store as soon as PS6 hits, then you have no choice but to go and pay full PS6 price for a PS6 game on the PS6 store. There's no way this isn't coming faster and faster and faster and faster. And they'll say, well, if you want to pay a premium price, if you want to pay double price, if you want to pay full market retail price for that PS5 game VR digital store, we might keep it up for you. We can't give you any discounts on those anymore. You want to pay extra to still have access to your old stuff. It's all this whole system, dude. The future of gaming.
Like I said, the physical games leaving was a gate. And if you didn't care about physical games, you should have cared about the gate. And now the gate's going away. And it's opening the door to all just bad news. They will have full control over everything, period. And they've been building to this. They've been building to this in the background, doing it. And so you can't help but sit there and go, yeah, this is 1984 shit happening. Because now that you look at it as a whole, you're like, oh no, yeah, they did start doing dynamic thing. They did start doing this. They tried already to shut down the PS Vita and that before, but then said, oh, we don't care. We got more time before we're ready anyway. So they backed off. But now the systems are in place. The PS6 is right around the corner, and they know there's no disc for it. So they're like, well, we gotta punch the people eventually. We gotta, because we're planning on this whole scenario taking place. So they just did it. Like I said, Xbox is going to follow suit. Has already been secretly kind of in the background, probably doing the same exact thing, getting ready to do this whole thing. Sony just has to lead the charge, because I think it's ready with its first discless system that's coming, and so they don't have a choice but to be it. Whereas Nintendo, thankfully for now, is like, no, bro, we're just Nintendo doing what we do. Here's your cool little old school cartridges, and we don't know what you guys are up to, but hey, have fun. But I don't know if Nintendo will even follow suit. Nintendo's Nintendo, so who knows what they'll do. But that doesn't help me, because I hate to say it, but I don't know. I'm not a Nintendo guy anymore, really. I just don't follow Nintendo that closely or care about any of its products anymore. So for me, this is a huge deal, and sucks the big one. And of course, with the Vita going down and the PS3 going down, that too just sucks. I know that does have to happen eventually. You can't keep stuff open forever, but I don't know. It's just a bummer, because I got a Vita sitting here, and I've got a few games on it. And granted, I don't play them anymore. They just sit there. But to just the thought to know that what I got is what I got, and it'll be forever for eternity. It's, I don't know, just a little sad.
And especially with that, less so for the PS3, but Vita had a bunch of physical games, and I have some myself, and they're out there to play. But how many more indie games were you able to play on the Vita only via download? And granted, you may be able to play them on Steam or other places, but that's the only place you can play them on the Vita, was by downloading them. And now you can't play those on your Vita ever again. You can't get them. Well, maybe you can still download them. I don't know how it's going to work that way, because sometimes when they shut the store down, you can still do the downloads.
Yeah, they said you'll still be able to download the game if you owned it.
But if you don't own it, you can never get it again.
You can never buy it or get it. No.
So it's essentially gone unless you owned it already. But
a tangent off this is, and I don't know this because I don't know much about Vita. We've got a couple used game stores here in the greater Lansing area. None of them have Vita games. Only PSP games.
Disc Traders does. I was just there the other day.
Where do they have them? Because I can't find them. I go to where the PSP games are, and there's nothing.
They're like on the opposite end cap. If the PSP games are on the end cap of this one aisle, they're on the other one.
Okay.
They don't have many Vita games, but they do have a little selection there.
All right, I'll go double check. I'm gonna go there maybe this weekend because I specifically went there a week or 2 weeks ago. No, it was right before the vacation, so it'd be almost 3 weeks at this point. And I was like, I need to go look at the Vita games, see if I can get something that'd be cool just for funsies, because Disc Traders usually has really good deals, price wise on this stuff, and I couldn't find them anywhere. And so I was like, oh, I guess they're just rare. And then I went over to the little like halfway shop that's in East Lansing, and they didn't have any, period. I even asked the guy, he didn't have any. So I'm like, well, okay, well, is this just a thing? Vita games don't exist anymore? What happened?
Well, maybe they won't have any now because everybody's going to go and get
buy
them. Or they'll have them, but they'll be expensive because they know it's shutting down. As double side tangent off the side tangent, I go to Disc Traders and I see 3 games in a stack, but they're all 3 marked different prices.
Yeah, that was weird, wasn't it?
Is it one of those ones where they take it and scan it and they go, oh, now it's $5.99 because of market prices? Is that what they do? I feel like that's probably what they do.
That's what's happening. Is if they don't get to it in time. It works in your favor sometimes too, though.
Okay,
I've seen them go where it was, like $12.99, $12.99, and $7.99. And then I go, oh, I said, I want that one. And I point at the $7.99 one because it's $7.99. I go looking, and he's like, oh, well, I mean, you can pick whatever one you want. They're all $7.99. We just haven't adjusted the price. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But then it goes the other way too, where it goes up to like $34.99. I'm like, I see the one at like $27.99. Oh, yeah, sorry, it's $34.99. We just haven't marked that one right.
And that's why I didn't get anything, because I saw a few great deals. I'm like, $5 for that game? Hell yeah. But the next one was $10. And I went, if I take the $5 one up there and they say $10, I'm going to get a grumpy face on, and I don't even want to deal with it. I'll just buy shit on eBay where there's no negotiating.
I told the guy, because there's a Michigan law that if you got a price tag on there and it's not right by a certain value, I don't remember the value anymore, but by a certain amount, you then have to pay the consumer
That's
the difference.
True,
yeah. There's a law here in Michigan for that. And I was like, I think there's a law, bro. You guys might want to be up to date on those prices. He's like, oh, I'll have to look into that.
I'm not going to look into that at all.
No, that was the Michigan. I'm not looking into that and don't care. Okay.
Now, one other quick bit of news I did want to mention, just because I mentioned the Steam Machine last week, and I talked about the company dbrand, how they had a really cool Portal-themed launch video for their companion cube piece that you could buy from them and put over your Steam Machine, and it would look like the companion cube from Portal. Well, I got an email from them that said, hey, we canceled your order. If you want to know the real story behind it, click this link. And that's literally all it said in the email. So you click the link, it goes to their subreddit, the big, giant, long story, where they say, oh man, they announced the Steam Machine, and we thought it'd be so cool, and we're so excited for it, and we thought it'd be really neat to make a companion cube thing that goes over it. And so we worked on it for like 7 months and all this other stuff. And then Valve saw it, and they said, that's our intellectual property, and you don't have the rights to use that, so you have to cancel it. And we said, oh, come on, guys. Oh, so, what if we like licensed it, and you paid us to make it, and then like we'd give you some money? And they said no. So it's a really sad thing that happened. Oh, Valve's so mean to us. So all that stuff I talked about, that they got me so excited with this trailer that was full of Portal assets, that literally said in my head, that showed my brain that they were fully licensed and this was a real thing. They didn't do that. They didn't do any of the right stuff. They tried to do what Genki did when Nintendo Switch 2 first came out. Like, they took all the logos and the licenses and put it all over their shit. And they went, whoa, what do you mean you're mad about it? Why don't you just give us money and then we'd be official? Wait, no? Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
So I will say dbrand does make good stuff. I have their cases on a bunch of stuff. Like, I have their Kill Switch case for the Switch 2, and it's great. And I love it. But don't buy stuff from dbrand because they're fucking stupid. And they do business the wrong way. That's a shitty company. If you do that, you suck. So don't give them any money. If you heard my stuff last week and you thought that was cool, I mean, A, you can't buy it anymore because they don't own the rights to do any of it. I was so disappointed. I was disgusted. What a scummy company. I hate it.
Well, but I think they did say, man, they said they understand Steam's choice. And,
yeah. Well, I guess we understand that we stole your stuff and tried to make money.
I guess we just took it and just tried to make money. You thought you'd just go along with it. Oh, man, that sucks.
What do you mean you're mad, Eric? I mean, just because I kicked in your door and stole your PS5 Pro and tried to sell it, I was just trying to make money. Like, why are you mad? I said we'd split the money afterwards. I give you $100.
Yeah, I'll give you some percentage off of it. No problem.
Come on, bro. We could both make money. No,
yeah,
God,
stupid silliness, craziness that kind of thing happens in this day and age. And last today, but not least, folks, gotta mention it. Marvel's Blade game. I've been looking forward to this. I love Blade. I love Arkane, even though I don't really play Arkane games, which is kind of weird, but I still love Arkane and I love what they do. And I love looking and watching others play their games. But this one, I was like, oh, I'm down to clown right here. I'm down. Well, guess what? Microsoft I don't know if they announced it, but whatever. It's out there. It's official. It's not like, oh, this is a rumor. Arkane is actually one of the 5, along with Double Fine and the others, Compulsion and whatnot, that they're talking about chopping and or selling off. And they're also going to be canceling the Marvel's Blade game. And then, like I said, either selling Arkane off or just shutting them down. And we don't know what's going to happen quite yet because there's still negotiations, just like Double Fine, Compulsion, and the others are doing. But they're all in this bucket together now. Arkane is the 5th one to join, where they're fighting for their lives, trying to see where they're going to end up. And from all accounts, the Blade game's just going to get chopped and killed off, even though it was a month ago or so that one of the big dogs over there said they've been watching it and it's so incredible and they're so excited to see it. And yeah. But of course, then everybody went, wait a minute, it didn't show up at the Xbox 2026 big, thing. What the hell? So that was kind of your first chirp of, uh-oh, that's not good. And now this, you're like, yeah, well, Blade, all of them have been commenting, all the, different podcasters, but it is true. This thing is like a cursed thing. Blade can't work anymore. Just can't happen. It's over.
That makes sense in my head. When I saw Marvel's Blade may be canceled, I went, okay, that makes sense. It's a cursed property for some reason. And then it said it was being made by Arkane. And I went, that's the studio I would want to make the Blade game. I would want to see a Blade game that has you moving around like Dishonored and chopping heads off and sneaking in the shadows. And I don't know how well they do with the gunplay, but that felt right. Those two felt right together. And I'm just, as Eric's talking about this, like, I mean, of course, Arkane, who makes good games, they made one game that nobody liked, Redfall, but that was because of all the other tinkering that everybody did. So it continues to suck. It will always suck. Microsoft make big bad moves. And who are the studios that are paying the price? Really good ones that make really good stuff, talented developers who make unique and cool things. Why don't you shut down the developers that suck, the ones that make just the same generic shit all the time? Why don't you just shut down Blizzard? They're never going to make anything that's going to make hand over fist money dollars for you. They're never going to make back $799 basquillion. Shut them down.
They could, which is the weirdest part, if they would just do a World of Warcraft 2. And I've never understood it. I don't understand it. To this day, I couldn't comprehend it 12 years ago when I still played. And the game was already 14 years old or whatever, I'm like, why are we not making part 2? And here we sit. Not a murmur, not a whisper. Freaking Guild Wars is going on its 3rd one. Ion's going on its 2nd one. Everybody's moving on. And your one title that still has millions of subscribers, you're like, nah, we'll just sit. We'll just sit on this.
We'll never grow it. We'll never grow it out with a 2nd one to keep those subscribers and get a lot
and
more.
Maybe get new people.
And get a big giant jump and a bump before it eventually settles back down to just this core. We'll just stay with the core.
Yeah.
And hopefully everybody will come back for each expansion, which nobody does. I mean, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, you don't get a big swing of new players. It's always just your core comes back and all of a sudden you're back up at 3 mil for a few months and then you go back to about like 1.5 and then you sit there until you do the next one. And it's the same with Diablo. Like great team. Diablo 4 is amazing. Don't get me wrong, but it's still Blizzard's just weird, man. They just got settled in, and they're not doing anything anymore. They just go, hey, we're just doing this next title here. Oh, yep, we peaked back up at this count. Nope, back down to our normal count. But it must be making enough to where I guess they're happy with it. But I don't know.
At least making enough to keep doing that. I read like 3-4 different video game magazines now. But anytime it's a Blizzard title, I just turn the page. Oh, it's a big cover story on Diablo 4. I'm not going to play it. Like, oh, season 18 is coming, whatever.
Yeah.
If they made like a new game or a fresh, even World of Warcraft 2, I might even try that out.
Because it's starting fresh.
Yeah, and it's 2026. It's going to be different. Like, it's going to be more engaging for a casual player, maybe.
Yeah, it's going to have more properties, more
physical
mechanics.
Gameplay to do. Yeah, mechanics to do. But no, we'll just keep it the old school way that I don't like, so I'll never play it or care about it. And it sounds bad to say that, but I just won't.
Yeah, just the whole thing. Blizzard, I don't know, man.
So let's lighten things up. Let's end on a high note, because nothing's higher and nothing's better than Uncle Matt's Trivia Corner. You all remember last week's question, which was, in the multiplayer for Nintendo 64's classic GoldenEye 007, which weapon is famed for its ability to defeat an opponent in a single shot? That, of course, is the Golden Gun. That's all for that set of cards. So now, whippity whippity whip, which side is the first side? It's this one. The question for this week is, the Typhon are a hostile alien race in which video game?
Mass Effect.
It is.
Oh, damn it. Yep, that sounds right. I just don't know enough. When you said that, it rings a bell, but no.
Now, I also don't know, and I have to bleep this, if they mean the original or the new. I assume it's the new.
I assume it's a new. It's those whatever that stuff is.
But the original one had an alien race, because you were always in there little doing the. Oh, maybe it's both. Maybe they took the name since they took
just
the other
kept
name.
it, but they reinvented it, because that is what they did. They just basically created a brand new game, but it had no real connection or anything. It was really weird. Dang it! I don't know why Typhon sounded so much like Mass Effect, though. It's just like, it sounds Mass Effect.
I mean, it does. It does sound like a Mass Effect race. Yeah.
And I didn't know for sure, so it's whatever. I'm not mad about it.
Yeah, don't be mad about that one. But what about you out there in podcast listener land? Are you mad about that one? Are you mad? Well, you don't know yet, because I'll tell you the answer next week for you. But are you mad about all this great news that we had for you in the video game worlds? Or are you just happy for free games and video game releases and great times that we had over the week? Let us know that, or tell us if you have any questions, comments, concerns, feedback, mailbag questions. We do have a mailbag question. Swear to God, we'll get to it. I know it's in there. I haven't forgotten. But send any of that stuff to us via the email, thirdshiftme@gmail.com, on the Twitter machine @ThirdShiftME. Find us on Facebook under Third Shift. Hit up the Discord, the Patreon. If I'm streaming, hit up a stream. If I'm home, do not knock on my door like some fuckers did, but they knocked in a unique way. And I was like, is this somebody I know? And I thought, nobody I know would ever come see me unannounced. And then they knocked again, and I went, maybe it's somebody I know. And it wasn't. It was some assholes trying to scam me. So I sent them on their way. That's why you don't knock on my door. I'm never going to answer the door anymore ever again anyway, so it doesn't matter. Just don't do it.
Learn your lesson. Also, you can zoom in, folks. Just remember, you can zoom in, and you're going to have a great time if you do. Just saying. But also, if you want to have a great time, head on over to Patreon and throw your money away, okay? Because that's also a great time. Paying us, giving us money, man, oh man. Doing that and then zooming in on that other thing, boom, primo. And you can do that to support us. But if you can't do either of those things or don't want to, you can go over to the Discord and join up and have some fun conversations. Maybe even post some pictures of you zooming in for us to see. You know what I mean? You can do that. Or you can go over to Twitch, watch Matt play some games, have some fun. You can use your Amazon Prime membership to get us $5 in there if you want to do that. You can go over to Spotify and or Apple Podcasts and give us 5-star reviews and support us there. These things all help, and you can do it for us.
Another thing you can do is listen to the very next episode, which will be dropping on or around the 9th of July on iTunes, on Stitcher, on Podbean, on Spotify, and on YouTube. And as I always say, hey, if you like what we're doing and you'd like to help us out, please give us a like, a rating, a review, a comment, a subscription, any kind of good thing on any one of those good services, because it does help us out, and we really do appreciate it.
We do indeed. And of course, we're about to head into our glorious holiday here in the United States, the 4th of July. It's this weekend. So next time, sorry. Dry throat. I ran out of water.
I'm going to sip my delicious water while Eric tries to clear his throat, folks.
So the next time you hear from us, we'll have had ourselves a wonderful weekend of fireworks, grilling, the whole nine. You know, it's 250th year as well. So it's a big deal. Everyone's doing some extra pizzazz, especially out here in Old Kentucky, probably elsewhere as well. So make sure you have a fun weekend, a great weekend if you're in the States. And if you're not, just enjoy yourselves. And I'm sure you'll hear a story or two about a firework of some kind or something on my end, I'm sure, next week.
And with that, there's nothing else to say, but I'm not even going to let Eric get in the sip. There's nothing else to say but one thing, Eric.
Don't
forget to say.
Shut up and sit down.
Oh, it just dried up quick. It was like, I felt it coming, then it just went, throat just went crack. Sucked.